What up, YouTube? It's the Ways and I'm Tien. Today we're back with another video. Yes, I'm especially excited today because my girl Natasha been dropping products trying to come for our necks. I'm just excited to see what she's gonna do for holiday, but it doesn't matter because she dropped a foundation. I finally got this foundation. Okay, the struggle has been real trying to find my match. I still don't think that I have, or that I might not even have a match, to be honest with you. But I've been mixing and matching, and I'll show you what I've been doing, and I will show you this foundation. I also got the new Natasha Denona Eye Sculpt Texture and Tone Palette. There are two. I got only one. Definitely probably gonna get the second one, but when it goes on a sale. Okay, it's on a sale right now, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit because it's not that big of a deal, as I have tons of Natasha Denona shadows. I was thinking, let's do a Natasha Denona takeover. Why not? This is her Natasha Denona tinted lip mask. This one is like a clear pink or something. Baby nude. It is very thin and lightweight. This is one that I would carry in place of like a chapstick or a Carmex, but these aren't gonna dry you out like a Carmex or a chapstick. So if you're in the market for something like this and wanted to try out the formula, I think it's very thin. I wear it throughout the day, not as a mask. Okay, I'm already yapping too much. Let me do my brows because I don't have any brow products from Natasha Denona, and then we will get into this takeover. Okay, I threw my brows on real quick. I went in with the oldie but goodie. This is the Benefit Cosmetics Precisely My Brow Pencil, and this is in 4.5. I've been doing my brows a little different, but they also really need to be cleaned up. But here we are. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually like clean them up with concealer, and we'll go in with my favorite concealer, which is the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I do have two shades. I have Y10, which I use as my under eye concealer for brightening, and then I have NY12, which I use for like spot concealing or all over my face or whatnot. It's a little bit closer to my skin tone. This is NY12, and then this is Y10. I absolutely love this concealer. It is my favorite. It is creamy. You don't need a lot. It's hydrating. You don't have to set it if you don't want to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm gonna use this to clean up my brows, and actually, yeah, I have a Natasha Denona eyeshadow. Actually, I used to have a Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer. I don't know what happened to it, but I'm going to use my paint pot for my lids for our eyes. I'm just going to use this to clean up. This is a very versatile concealer. I don't think it's too thin. I don't think it's too thick. It could be a medium to full coverage, but you can make it super duper light if you want. Just don't use too much. I mean, literally a dot if you don't want to use too much. As you can see, this is super close to the color of my skin. Hence, that's the color foundation I went with after testing. Yeah, who is excited about Natasha Denona? I am. I'm so excited. When I seen the foundation drop, my mouth dropped. I already knew, I had a feeling it was coming. Like, how is she gonna drop like the Fierest concealer and not have a foundation to go along with it? In the past, I bought one of Natasha Denona foundations, but it was on sale and it was totally the wrong color, and it was like super oily. I don't know, it was really weird. It wasn't for my skin because I did not like the finish at all. So I have been anticipating her possibly dropping a foundation, and yeah, I was so happy when she dropped it. This concealer is everything. I really never use this to clean up my brows, but it is gliding. And you know what I forgot is primer. I would not tell you guys to go out and buy something, you know, unless I wouldn't tell you to go out and buy anything. That's not what my channel is here for. My channel is here to show you products and have fun with makeup and show you different looks and give you some inspiration with the products that you have in your collection. Or if you're thinking about a product, like I can try it out sometimes first. You know, I'm not out here buying all the new latest and greatest, but Natasha Denona is one of my favorite brands. So I tend to buy a lot of her products. So I do show them on, not advertise them, I'm not getting any pay. I do show them on my channel because I love her products that much. But one thing I will say, if you have not tried this concealer, I wish she had minis. So if you weren't like, don't want to spend 30 something dollars on a concealer that I have never tried, I wish she would drop some minis for you guys, because this is fire. And if I could recommend anything to go and buy, try the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I honestly don't think that you'll be disappointed. So let's put on a little bit of primer. I have the Hygiene Bronze Energizing Hydrating Primer Serum. I absolutely love the original, and she came out with a bronze. So we're going to try the bronze. I'm also going to do the bronze just because I know my foundation is a little light. She ain't got no tan. But we gonna give it a little tan. I think that could be a positive too, to try to mix these one day. But for now, we're just gonna drop some of this primer on our skin. Now this primer also has like benefits of skincare in it. Now I love this primer. It just feels so good going on the skin. You could tell that it has some type of skincare in here, you know. Plus this one with the tone, with the bronzy effect, kind of evened out my skin tone a little bit. It's also supposed to help keep the makeup on longer. Definitely has a glow and definitely has shimmer. I don't think that you can see the shimmer too much unless you're all up in my grill, but I don't think that it's a problem. I personally think it looks like a healthy glow, so you can wear it with foundation, without foundation, mix with foundation, mix with the moisturizer. However your little heart desires to use this product, experiment with it. But I really love this. I mean, obviously I bought two. If I didn't love the original, I would have never bought this one. Just saying. Let's get into this foundation. Let's just jump into this foundation. This is the High Glam Foundation. And this one is Hydrating Blurring Long Wear Radiant Serum Foundation. I got mine in NY12. However, before, and I want to show you guys a couple swatches. I'm going to try to. Because if you can see, I have a lot of, I mean, we put that bronzer type serum on top, but you can still see the tones in my skin. I'm kind of a red bone, but I also have some yellow. I have some peach. I have a lot of neutral green looking in my skin. So, you know, I really thought that NY12 was my color, but I wasn't sure, and they did not have it in store. They have 52 shades of this foundation, and I could have sworn that mine was going to be in the store. It says medium to buildable coverage, self-setting formula, short and long-term hydration, balances excess oils, hypoallergenic, non-comedogenic, safe on sensitive skin, long-lasting up to 18 hours, radiant blurring finish. Tons of claims, you guys. Like, this is the launch of the year for me. I'm going to be honest with you. And for me to have such a hard time finding my shade, you guys, I went through 3 samples. I got 3 samples. Not did I get all of them at the same time. No, I went back 3 times to Ulta and still didn't find my shade. These are all part of probably the dark to deep tone. I have a Y13, which is a yellow. I have an NR13, which is super duper close to my skin tone, and an NP14. NR is neutral red for her undertone, and NP is neutral peach. So these all look really good, but when it's all over the face, some of them have a hinge to be a little too deep in the tone for me, or like NR13. I'm gonna swatch it for you on my chest. And you will see, ooh, that looks like money. Like, that just blends in very, very well. You can see. However, for me, it's a little too rosy. Once it sets, you might be able to see a little bit better. So that's NR13. And at first I was so happy. I was like, ooh, it goes in so well with my skin. It's so good. And when I match, I normally don't do my chest. I normally do from in here to my neck because I really want it to match my neck, and I'm very similar in shades. So you just have to be careful on what your neck is compared to your chest, because some people have a dark neck and a light chest. So it can depend. Okay, this is NP14 Neutral Peach. So this one I thought was great too when I put it on and swatched it. However, we'll put NP14 right here. NP14 looks super good too, but it makes me look super peach. And they have a peach like P11, I think. But I was nervous because I didn't want to look too orange. I was just like, I don't want to look too orange. Like, I really think, and then this one has a little bit more depth, if you could tell. So in my summertime, maybe, but still with that peach undertone, a little too much for me. So then I also got Y13. So then here is NY13 or Y13. Y13 I think is perfect for me, except for it's too deep. Once it sets, I feel like these do oxidize a little bit. Once it sets, it gets a little too deep. You can even see. NR13, which would probably be the best. NP13. And then Y13. Y13 is great. Maybe if I had a Y12 would have probably been perfect for me, because the tone, the undertone is perfect with the yellow. It's just a little too deep for my skin tone. Okay? So if you're a little deeper than me, you probably want to stick with the 13s. So what I want to swatch for you is NY12, which is the color that I picked up because she said that if you found your concealer match, you should do the same color as your foundation. You should be able to match your foundation to your concealer. So I knew that Y10 was too light because I use it as a brightening shade concealer, but NY12 is what I cleaned up with my brows. You can still see it's a little lighter than me, but I think it's one of the closest. So let's go ahead and shake her up. The packaging, A1. A1 goes with the whole theme if you think about her powder. Another reason, I guess the color tone is a little off. Another thing I was skeptical about is the powder, because I did buy my powder in NY12, and if you watched my reveal of this foundation using it, it was too light. It was too light. I mean, I bronzed up enough to fix it, but it was too light. I think that with this foundation color, what will be best for me is underpainting. But because I want to show you guys how this is going to look, we're going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to swatch this color, but at the end of the day, I'm going to mix NY12 with Y13. So this is NY12. I just did a little bit. I don't think you need a whole bunch of this foundation. I'm going to swatch it for you though and blend it out just so you can see the tone. And you'll be able to see that it is a little light. And maybe people would be like, oh, wouldn't you want to get the darker one? I would. However, the undertone, it's the undertone that is off. And then Y13, it just sits weird. It gets, because it's the wrong color and it's a little deeper, it gets this gray cast or something on my face. And I'm not feeling that at all. So let me go ahead and blend this out. I'm just going to use a Playing in Makeup by Yolanda foundation brush, so you can kind of see. This is like a serum foundation, so it does have those properties of skincare in there as well. That's why you have all those hydration claims and whatnot too. I just kind of want you to see what this color looks like by itself on part of my face, but you will be able to see that it's a little light. Now, you might be like, Tia, you're tripping. I could be. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is this my shade? What do you think? I'm just going to do it on half. I'm using very little because I'm about to mix it. I think my main concern is in my forehead because my forehead is darker. But I have that same kind of problem with the NARS foundation. So I'm okay with that. I don't want to look ghostly or ashy. But if the outskirts of my face are, I'm trying to even out my skin tone, and I have multiple colors in my skin tone, this is gonna even me out, but not make me feel like I have that gray cast. So this is one side with NY12. The foundation is super light unless you like pack it on. I feel like it's more of a moisturizer than actual like foundation. And that's one thing I love about it. All right, so this is what I have left. I'm gonna add one more little pump, okay? I'm gonna take a little bit of Y13. Actually gonna take so little bit that I'm just gonna dip my finger in here, like that much, and I'm gonna mix it. I'm gonna mix it. Okay. Now I think this is my perfect shade. It looks kind of orangey on camera, but it's a very neutral. I wish she would have just dropped neutrals. Like straight neutrals. And I would have been one happy camper. Because I think I just created my perfect shade. Natasha, this is my perfect shade. NY12 and Y13. Guys, look at this blend. Am I a chemist? Am I a chemist? Or am I tripping? Y'all let me know. I just know that I don't want to look too peach, and I don't want to look too red, and I don't want to look too, you know, anything. I don't want to overly look like a different tone. And that's why I wish she would have kind of done neutral. But all in all, I really like how this foundation feels. I like the coverage for sure. I just now know that I have to go purchase another color. Now, I wasn't too upset that I bought this foundation color because I got it at a discount. I probably paid $25. I used my rewards points because I knew that Natasha Denona doesn't really do returns like that, and I was scared that the color was gonna be off, which it is a little bit, and I knew I wouldn't be able to return it for $52. $52 this foundation is. So I might have to, when we have our Sephora savings event, or Natasha does a huge like holiday sale, then I will have to go back and get Y13 unless she updates her, you know, colors. But she has 52 colors, $52. Will she? I don't know. I don't know. Now I do have a lot of lights in front of me, but this color in person looks so good, guys. Looks really, really good. But you can kind of see how my skin looks. It just looks super smooth. It does kind of have that blur effect. I'm excited to see the claims of the self-setting because I personally don't like to use a whole bunch of powder, so that could be exciting. I mean, I'm going to use some in my T-zone for sure, but not all over my face. I'm cool with that. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it holds up and how it plays with the rest of my makeup because I haven't done a full face with this foundation yet. This will be the first time. All right, y'all, let's get into this Natasha Denona High Sculpt Liquid Bronzer. This is a serum infused liquid bronzer. I mean, Natasha is coming for our necks. This was like the first thing, right? Well, let me back up. We had this. Then she said, ooh, I'll drop you this for the summer. And then it was like, ooh, you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming with the foundation. Like, you knew it, right? So let's get into this product. I've used it a couple times and I super duper enjoy it. It's a liquid. I'm only going to use a little bit here. And then this is the tone. Seems a little thicker than the last time I used it. Warm it up. And this one is in Dawn. I think this is the second to the deepest shade. I'm kind of warming it up on the back of my hand. I'm sure you can go in with your fingers. I'm just going to take the brush and I'm just going to tap it in here. And we're going to drop this on. I love the tone of this. It's not too brown. It's actually perfect. Just gives you that color back to your skin. That's why I was saying, like, even if the foundation looks a little light, I've learned that that is kind of my issue with the perimeter of my face being darker. than the inside of my face. So always a bronzer or contour definitely helps me out. More of a bronzer than a contour. This is a sculpt. So depending on the shade, you probably might be able to get a contour, but definitely feeling this as my bronzer. I mean, look at the difference that made. So super easy to blend. I have cut nothing out from us talking. I'm gonna go back in a little bit. I'm just gonna tap the side of my nose, nothing too precise. And under here. And it's not interrupting the foundation. You could just go back over with your foundation brush if it gets a little out of hand or whatnot, but I don't think you can go overboard. It just melts into your skin. I really enjoy this product. This is such a good one. And you can do this for underpainting. I really like this particular product for underpainting, and then that's why I said even if my foundation is a little lighter for underpainting, I'm just gonna go over and blend everything together anyways. So I'm loving it. Loving. Okay, so I pulled you a little closer and we're gonna get into these eyes or whatever. So Natasha Denona said we're not gonna stop with the foundation. Oh no, we're not. We're gonna give you 2 palettes. 2 Mindy palettes. Well, they're not Mindy palettes. Let me tell you something. At first, I was not going to order this because when you look at the color stories, they are very, very, very neutral color stories. Hence, Natasha Denona Biba. Okay? But Biba is not a Mindy palette. So comparison wise to her regular Mindy palettes and this new palette, definitely smaller, you guys. Definitely smaller. However, let me take this out. This is the retro palette. I mean, my dream palette. This is my dream palette. Is it upside down? This is my dream palette. Okay. So this is a 15 pan palette. This is how her Mindy palettes come, right? So the new palette has 18 shades. So you get 3 additional colors. It is more expensive because I believe it's $82. Hence why I didn't get both. But look at this packaging. It says ND. It has Ice Sculpt Texture and Tone Palette. Super hefty. Like compared to her other one, I feel like, I mean, they have about the same weight, but this one is weighted even more for it to be smaller, right? Also, you still have where you can poke out the backs and rearrange your palettes. Genius. Love the vibe. I think it just looks so sleek. Great for travel. I don't know if I'm getting that across. I'm impressed by this packaging. When I pulled this out of the box, I said, oh, I might need to go back to the website and order the other one because I wish they all came like this. Now let's open this. This is the Dramatic. They're calling this Dramatic. The other one is Soft, okay, for lighter skin tones. Natasha Denona said she was super duper excited about dropping this palette in particular for deeper skin tones. So here we are. We're going to try it. And this is what the palette looks like. Oh. I also bought this palette because this palette has a full roll of shimmers. The other one only had like 2 or 3 shimmers or something. I do enjoy her matte so much, but however, comma period, I get more variety here. You have 2 rows of straight mattes. The design on here is you can go from light to shimmer to a deep tone, so you can create looks going this way. The other thing that she put into this palette are her undertones. So you have W for warm. See if I can do it for you guys. You have W for warm. You have Y for yellow, R for red, P for peach, N for neutral, and C for cool. There are, I believe, 3 different textures of mattes in this palette. I'm having a hard time figuring out which ones those are on the website, but there are 3 different. I can tell it's her regular mattes, her creamy mattes, and then there's a new type of matte formula. I can tell which ones are the creamy mattes, the regular mattes, and the cream to powder mattes. I can't really tell which ones are the new formula, the creamy mattes. So this is very exciting because you can really go any way with this palette. It's very neutral. I like that she mixed in the different undertones. And the shimmers. I mean, you have your neutral shimmers, but you got a little pop here. We got some taupes. The only thing I'm not feeling is we only have one light shade. I wish I could have maybe like one more. Also, how different are these tones going to look on my skin tone with all these browns? I think it's really going to come down to the undertone, obviously, because that's really what the difference are in these shades. There are some colors calling me, so let's jump into this eye look. Let's see what we can create. Okay, I'm kind of confused on what I want to do, but I want to test out this theory on how she built this palette. I want to go down in this row, okay? And I'm going to create a look with those three. I might throw in something else. This is the in row, the neutral row. So let's see what this does. Okay, these are the shades. This is the lightest, this is the deepest. So there is some different tone there. Much difference? Oh no, and then that's the shimmer. So that's cute. Okay, let's see. I just feel like this shade is not as light as I'd like it to be for a transition shade. So what I think I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna mix this up, and I'm gonna go into this R1, this red like tone. It's at the top here, and it is this shade here. I'm gonna use that in my transition. I want to see what it does, if it does anything. If it does anything, you guys. Let's take that R1 with this Rougher 15, and let's just drop this in our crease. Like I said, I have on my MAC Pink Pot as my eyeshadow primer. Wow, that is a pretty color. This one, this shade is a little dusty. This might be her natural matte, her regular matte. But that, effortless. Look at that. That was easy. It was easy. I mean, Natasha Denonas are always easy to work with. I think that's the beauty of something like this for people that don't want to think too much, or you might be just going out the door and you need to just add something into your crease, or just a pop of shimmer or something on your lid and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, not too much. Okay, I'm going to take this Sigma small tapered blending brush. It's an E45. I'm going to go into N3, which is the deeper shade, and I'm going to run this in my crease as well. Actually, let's do N1. Let's try N1. See how much depth we can get out of this, okay? We're going to take N1 in that neutral row with this tapered brush. It's kind of like a point. And I'm going to take this right in my crease and just wiggle it right in my crease, like so. I wanted it to be a little bit more concentrated in there, unlike the first color, which is kind of like a wash of color. I like that they can blend in together regardless of that undertone. So then there you can kind of see from this eye to this eye the depth, right? I think what this palette is going to do too for brown eyes, depending on the undertone that you pick, it's going to pop. Because when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, ooh, that rosy one is really popping out my brown in my eyes. I'm going to go ahead and take the rosy shade, R1 again, and I'm just going to go back lightly and just make sure everything is super blended and not too harsh of lines. I'm going to just keep it simple because I don't want to take this all over the place, guys. I think I'm going to just pop a shimmer on my lid, and I think it's going to be that N2 here. And how do we want to use it? I'm going to just swivel in here. Oh, I love a taupe. And we're just going to drop this on the lid, just in that middle section to the front part of the lid, all the way over. So you kind of have an effect of, you know, shimmer, deeper, lighter. Could definitely did this with a brush, but I'm just here. I think it's pretty. It's super natural, right? I love a taupe though. I just don't know if this shimmer is doing anything extra special that she hasn't already created in her other palettes. And so this could also be for people that don't have her other palettes or thinking about it and just on the fence, want a neutral palette, you know. That's what this could be for too. Who this could be for too. Or me. Oh, I bring on the Circle Loco. We'll take a little shimmer in the brow bone. We'll take this Y2 right here, I think. And we'll drop that in our brow bone. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this little rougher 28. Just gonna carve it around my brow bone. This shimmer has a little bit more sparkle, but less pigment. And then we'll take our brush again with a little bit of more of R1, the rosy shade, and just blend in between. I want that highlight, but I don't want it to be like, oh my gosh, she has a highlight. We're looking really dull right now because we need some concealer, y'all. We need some concealer. This is a very simple, soft look, and that's probably the intention of this palette, to be honest. I'm gonna take a little bit of the Y2 and I'm gonna drop it right on the lid. See if it'll give a little bit of oomph, a little something to brighten it. All right, I'm gonna go into my Natasha Denona concealer. This is in Y10. I'm not gonna overdo it because I tend to. Actually, I need to wipe my eye because I got a little fallout from that shimmer. And that could have totally been me because I was like tapping and coming down. So I'll do that here. A little bit. We'll go in here. And what this is also going to do for me is bring a little bit more of that yellow back into my skin. Okay, so I went ahead and blended out my concealer. You can see how bright it is. Love that for me. We're gonna go ahead and set our face with this Natasha Denona High Glam Powder Foundation. This is in Y12 as well. I think this is a little light for me. I'm gonna take a huge brush and I'm just gonna set down lightly. I'm also going to use this under my eyes, but I'm going to use a puff, I think, or a different brush. But right now, I just want to set everything we did kind of just down. This is a foundation powder, so it is going to give you a little bit more coverage if you wanted it, if it was your tone. It's not really mine. I'm going to take a little bit of this. I'm just going to set underneath my eyes lightly. I don't want too much because like I said, this is a foundation powder and I don't want it to be too heavy or too cakey. We need to warm up a little bit, so I'm gonna take this tan palette by Natasha Denona. It's the Bronze and Glow palette. I actually like this color for a bronzer on me, so I'm just gonna take my brush. We're just gonna set the bronzer that we did earlier, right? I also have the contour palette, but I think it's a little deep on me. So we're gonna use this one, and I think this is actually perfect. I really think that this bronzer is fire. I wish she would make this in a full size. We're gonna go back to our palette. I'm gonna go ahead and take in 3, the darker neutral color. I'm gonna take that Tapered blush by Sigma, and I'm just gonna run this on the bottom lash line. We're kind of playing with cool tones and a little bit warmer tones a little bit, but also neutral. It's kind of weird because the red tone, the R1 tone, kind of gave me a little warmth. This tone is definitely getting me cool vibes, even though it's a neutral, which I personally am not mad at because I love a brown like this. And then I'll just take that rougher 15. I'll go back into that neutral 1 color and I'll just blend that. That shimmer that we used, that R2, I'm gonna pick it back up on that rougher 28 again. I'm gonna use a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. Sits right here, and pop this in the inner corner. Was hoping the spraying it was gonna give me a little bit more oomph. I'm not sure, and I don't want a whole bunch of fallout. I'm gonna take my finger. Okay, that's kind of what we're looking like. I think we need a little color, so we definitely need to drop some blush on these cheeks because right now, feel a little, I don't know. I think my complexion looks really good. I'm really feeling the foundation. I love all the products. I just think we need a little bit of color. So I'm going to go into this palette here. This is her, what was one that she had for holiday? Berry Pop Cheek Trio, I think last year. I really enjoy this though. I thought it was gonna be super duper red, but it kind of does look pink on me. So we're just gonna use this. I need to clean brushes, period. We'll take this Sigma blush brush. gonna go ahead and just go into the actual blush. Can't believe I almost have a full face of Natasha Denona. What does she need? She needs brow products. She needs brow products. I think we need a mascara for sure. I don't know how much of a lip I'm gonna be able to do, to be real with you guys, because I don't have a lot of her products. All I have is a lip liner and this balm I had. Color is super intense, right? Like, I don't know if that's what we really wanted, but here we are. I think it's cute. It works. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna spray down the face. I'm gonna put on some mascara. I'm actually gonna put on a little half lash. I seen this girl do this little trick and I was like, I need to try that. So I'm gonna do that and then we'll come back and we'll wrap up with these lips and some highlighter. Of course, the highlighter. Okay, so this is what we're looking like with a little bit of mascara. This is kind of how our look is looking. I think it looks really good. It's a very, very neutral. Let's do a little highlighter. I'm gonna go in with the Natasha Denona Hygiene Skincare Infuse a Glow Beautifier. I think that is the whole theme of this video is skincare. I'm gonna go ahead. This is 02. I have 2 colors. This is kind of light. I wanna bring a little brightness. So I'm gonna use this one. I think this is definitely better with your finger for a highlighter because it's super creamy. If you do it underneath your makeup, because you can, put it anywhere you want to. A brush is fine, but I just noticed that I get the best impact with this when I use my finger and it doesn't interrupt my makeup and it is gorgeous. I like this tone. I do have a deeper one that I would put underneath my makeup or as my highlighter, but I just want to go with a little bit of brightness. I think I might even drop a little bit more into this inner corner highlight just to give us a little bit of brightness, right? Okay, for these lips, I don't have any lip products from Natasha Denona, but I do have, well, I don't have any lipsticks or lip glosses, I should say. I do have this lip liner, and this is in Dana. Let's see what she do. I thought it was gonna be a little deeper. It's the problem with liners sometimes, like they just don't come deep enough for us. Deeper skin girlies, see? This is super light still. But it's okay because the lipstick will cover it, but we'll just put it on. I do like the texture of these. I wanted a neutral pinky brown that would show up good for me, and this is the closest I guess I got. The other thing is I bought another one. I just don't see it. And I don't think it's any deeper. I think it is lighter. And this is where I realized Natasha Denona is not doing returns. We're not doing returns. It's going to be very difficult. So that's why I just kept it. So that's not the best. But let's just go in with a little gloss. Since we kind of did that reddish, pinkish color or that pinky tone in the eyes, I kind of want to play off that a little bit and give us something. So I'm going to go in with this Fenty Gloss Bomb. And this one is in Spice Cold. It kind of has a little cool tone to it. Oh my gosh, I'm out of it. I actually emptied it. Must not be that much in here. Oh, my lips are getting dry. You could tell we're about to hit the fall. So that lip liner did nothing for me. I could have put this on by itself. I really like this color a lot for a pink. I'm not a pinky tone lip person, but this cooler, taupey type of pink, up my alley for sure. Yes, so this is the final look. I think it came out super cute. It's cute, it's natural. I think my skin looks really, really good. I mean, standouts for me, I love this highlighter. It's one of my favorites. I'm really enjoying this bronzer. The more I use it, the more I want to keep using it. I am obsessed. I think I talked enough about the concealer for you guys. Really the new products for me I love her powder products. I wish the foundation was a little deeper. I'm probably going to get a new powder foundation because I think maybe I can get away with a different tone now that I've gone through every single foundation color. Love this cheek. I think it looks super, super cute with the bronze, the little flush of pink with the blush and the highlighter. Yes. The eyes. You know, I packaging A1, fire. I wish they were all like this. If she remade them all like this, I don't know if I couldn't buy them. That wouldn't make any sense. But this is how I hope she keeps her packaging going forward. I think that this is sleek. I think that it is durable. I think it's worth what I'm paying for it. The color story, it's very nice. It's a very pretty. I can see where I got some variations in this look, but for me, it's just really neutral. It's really natural. I mean, granted, most people might want natural looking eye looks. I personally like a little color, a little pop here or there. So I'm especially excited to play with this row right here, especially coming into our more fall, wintry months. This is very neutral. I'm taking this on my trip with me. I'm going to do more looks. I love the formula, period. Like, Natasha Denona cannot be beat, I think, with her formula. The shimmers could be a little bit more impactful. These are very natural. But, I mean, this is not an indie brand that we're talking about. They're going to give us shifty all over the color spectrum on every shimmer is not going to be a special shade. Natasha Denona does multi-chromes, duochromes very well. However, they're not in this palette. It makes me think and stop about getting the soft palette, honestly, because I have enough neutrals. That's why. I have tons of neutral shadows in my Natasha Denona collection. Like I said, go ahead and watch that video where I swatched every single color in my collection, and you will see why I probably didn't need this. However, if you don't have a lot of Natasha Denona palettes and you like neutrals and you're a deeper skin tone or a lighter skin tone for soft, they said you can go either way, then I would think it was worth it. For me, I probably didn't need it, but of course, I'm a junkie. I'm a junkie, and I'm a Natasha Denona junkie. Last but not least was the foundation. It was a struggle. The struggle was very real, but I am really liking how this is looking on my skin, how it's filling. I can't wait to play with it some more by myself and just like really keep utilizing it. I hate that I have to mix colors, but I think it's necessary. I'm gonna watch this back. If this one looks good by itself on the one side, then we have a winner. If not, I will have to get Y13 and we will be mixy. We will be chemist over here. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. All in all, I love Natasha Denona, and I will be checking for Natasha Denona. I have tons of Natasha Denona videos on my channel, going through all her palettes, doing different looks, 1 look, 3 looks, way back Wednesdays. Maybe I'll create a playlist for strictly Natasha Denona because I love reviewing her products and especially her palette. So I'm just glad that we got to deep dive into a whole bunch of complexion, and I am feeling this. So if you are feeling the vibe, definitely go ahead and give me a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not part of the fam gang, okay? And remember, there is only one way to do your makeup, and that's your way. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed this look. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.